Hey guys, and welcome to Tea and Questions with me, Hollow. Who else would be here, really? I mean, well, maybe someone would join me, but I'm always in Tea and Questions because it's like my show. Tangent. Let's begin, but first I'll drink this tea. It's a very flowery mug today. Look at that. So flowery. Many flowers on it. This one's purple. I think the one I showed you was blue. It's crazy. Alright, first question comes from Woodview. Hey Hollow, Rage recently posted a video about starting a Minecraft series. Would you consider joining him for a Rage and Hollow Play Minecraft series too? I actually proposed this to him a few times, how I'm like totally down to do like some modded survival and just like bring other people in every now and then, you know, have some fun doing that. And, you know, the similar way that Mapstrav works, you know, one episode would be on his channel and then the next would be on mine and so on and so forth. A good way for us to both make videos, both play survival Minecraft, and both do some new stuff in Minecraft, especially with the big updates and changes. And up until now, he's just been no. So yeah, maybe he's clearly starting to do it again, but that's the only way I would really do it. I think maybe getting some mods involved and sort of us learning something new at our own pace would be really interesting and really fun. So maybe. And as Andy? And E6, it says and E, so is it like, it's not with a Y, it's an E, so is it Andy? Well, your names, guys. Hey, hello, what is your view on drug usage? A-okay, I don't give a fuck. Basically, if you're not hurting anyone other than yourself, then cool. But the problem with that is you're probably hurting someone else. So bear that in mind. Basically, anything in moderation. So anything in moderation. You fucking love driving your car. You fucking love driving that car. You drive it whenever you can. So much that in your spare time, you're not even interacting with your friends or your family. You are addicted to driving your car, and it's having a bad effect on your life because you drive your car so much because you love it. You don't know how to do things in moderation. It's consuming you. Except, you know, that's very unlikely with a car, right? A car is just a car. You might enjoy driving your car, but it's never going to get that serious. With drugs, it can, and often does. So I think with drugs, you know, like weed, for example, that's not really all that addictive. But you must be careful because some drug dealers may splice their weed with cocaine so that you keep coming back. And that is just the issue with drugs, you know? It's a risk. Even weed, the most chillax, safer than alcohol drug, even that has potential to do harm with something like that. Everything in moderation. Be careful. It's your body. You do what you want, but try, for fuck's sake, don't hurt anyone else. And please do things in moderation because I understand that YOLO, you only live once, but if you take a bunch of things at once, you could die. So please be careful. And that's my opinion on it, really. You know, I'm not like massively for it. I'm not massively against it. That one guy asks, when you go traveling, do you bring your whole setup for recording? Your computer, your mic, your camera, what do you bring? I do not bring my computer. That would be crazy, bringing a fucking, like, tower with me. I would only ever do that if I was moving there for like 6 months plus and I needed it. But when I'm traveling, I do like vlogs and stuff every now and then. I take like a camera. Is it here? Yeah, it is. I just knocked over some like sunglasses there. My camera, I take my camera with me and I record things with it and, you know, do vlogs and stuff. That's what I do when I travel mostly. I'll fix that. I'll fix that later. Okay. Next question comes from Revolution Outcast. Hey, Hollow, what's your opinion on mobile gaming? Great in theory, shit in practice. Basically, anyway. You know, there's some mobile games like Angry Birds and stuff that are awesome, and you have things like DS's to play your Pokemons on and all that, and Mario-related games, but 90% of it's shite, so, But in theory, it's amazing, so maybe one day they'll come up with something that actually works really well, and I don't play any games on any mobile device, personally, so, yeah. All right, time for a real question from Fred RH. Hello, Hollow. Here is a kind of deep question. What is, in your opinion, the world's greatest problem right now? For example, pollution, corruption, poverty, and why? Also, what do you think would be a good manner to stop such a problem? Thanks for your answer. Well, this is a fucking tough question, isn't it? Like, really, like, when you think about yourself while you're watching, you know? That's a big question. What is the greatest problem right now with the world? Now, Fred suggested a bunch of things. Pollution, corruption, poverty as examples. I don't think poverty is the worst, because there may come a time where hunger and things like that, hopefully, are like eliminated. You know, as the world progresses. Corruption's definitely a big one, but I don't think it affects everyone and as a massive problem. Pollution affects everyone, I think, out of those three. Pollution is, you know, like waste and gases that are going into the air, and overall slowly having a negative effect on the world. Global warming, as an example, the world steadily getting warmer, and also not just that, actually, you know, it's not just that, like winter's getting colder occasionally, that kind of thing. Like it's been the coldest winter, for example, last year in England than it ever has been in like, I don't know, it was like 100 years or something. That's a big deal, and that's the effect we're having over time. And it's becoming a problem, you know, and it will, especially in 50, 100 years, it could be terrible. Think about cars and the gases that they put out. They're running on a non-renewable resource that in 50 years could not exist. And fortunately, we do have like cars, like energy-related cars that, like, you know, are better for the world and shit, and, you know, run on different fuels. But I don't know. That's definitely a problem that's right there in front of us that needs addressing now. And we're definitely recycling a lot more, for example. That's a really good thing. But we're still pumping out a really big problem. And it's like the human race. Like humans is like a parasite on planets or something. Like it's a matter of time before it uses everything up. And it's kind of scary to think about. So I can hope that gets like fixed. But as an idea of how to fix that problem, I really don't know. As a race, we need to completely change our opinion on, like, you know, waste itself and how we function and the things we rely on. These are big things that don't change instantly. With the right leaders and with the right choices, maybe 100 years down the line, we'd be a better race in general at surviving in terms of long run. But, God, I don't know. I'd say pollution, probably a big problem right now. So there's your answer, Fred. Thanks for the serious question. You know, you brought some seriousness to the show, which is a good thing. This is what I want. You know, questions that make you think are things that I enjoy doing. Compound Gaming asks, if PCs didn't exist, would you play Xbox or PlayStation? And why? It's a great question. I'm about to drop a big number on a new PC that should be here in about 2 weeks, hopefully. There's a motherboard that's out of stock right now. We'll have to wait on that, which sucks. But yeah, 2 weeks-ish. And yeah, that's way more money. If I bought an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, it would be like maybe not even half the price. Yeah, not even half the price of this PC that I'm getting. So I would get both, and I would play on both if there was no PCs. And I'd be happy with that. That'd be fine, because I wouldn't know any better. But I know better in this world, and PC is just able to do more, you know? And so I go with PC. So, yeah, I would get both and play on both. I have no opinion on either of them, just so I can play both. You know, they're both pretty much the same thing. They have slight changes on them, and you know, they have exclusives and stuff. So it'd be worth just having both, and it's cheaper than what I'm paying now for my PC. So there you go. There you go. Lindsay Muffins asked, what do you think of vegetarians? Another good question. Fucking love them. They're awesome. The fact that we still slaughter meat and eat meat generally now, like as humans, is just ridiculous. Originally we did it to survive, but now we would be able to sustain ourselves like legitimately without it, or at least cut it down by 70%. I'd say. As humans, we don't require meat to survive. We never have. It's just been like an easy resource that we've like abused. And it's got to the point where, like, think about cows. They would die out without humans now. They're completely reliant on us. ridiculous, and animal cruelty that constantly happens to do with this is really fucked up. And vegetarians are taking a stand against that and saying, my body does not need meat, or at least not vegetarians, but vegans. Vegetarians cut it down massively, though. My body doesn't need meat. I don't want to be part of that, like, animal cruelty ring, and you know, it takes a lot of self-control and a lot of intelligence to do something like that. And, you know, I appreciate that and think that's a brilliant, great thing. Obviously, I don't like, you know, people like forcing their opinion on someone, but really, like, vegetarians and vegans are doing something that's very important to them, and therefore they do not like, you know, meat eaters in general and want to convince you not to do that. So it's a grey area there. But I'm not a vegetarian and I'm not a vegan, and I think about where my food comes from every time I eat it, usually, and you know, what I'm eating and meat and whatnot in general. So yeah, one day I might be a vegetarian, and I have the utmost respect for vegetarians and vegans in general. Ones who are doing it because they have good purposes anyway, not because it's like some sort of peer pressure thing or something. I don't know. Does that happen? I don't know. All right, final question comes from Chuck Norris. He asks, hey, hello, what advice do you have for someone starting YouTube? I made a whole video that's much better than one that I would do now, specifically tagging this. It's called Hollow Advice, starting a YouTube channel. Just YouTube, Hollow Advice, YouTube, and you'll find the video. Watch that. It's like 10 minutes long, and I think I really did well with that video. One of my favorite videos in terms of like how proud I am of the result and the wonderful comments and reaction to that video. So go check that out. It will help you massively, Chuck Norris. I'm sure you're the real Chuck Norris. Good luck with the YouTube. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your tea if you're drinking any. You better be. You better be. Leave a question as a comment on this video and I will check it for the next one. It'll be your good chance to be on the show. Remember, thought-provoking questions are the best bet. If you have a good question and I didn't pick it, chances are I might not have had space for it, so try again. And yeah, no what-if questions. They're boring. See you next time, guys. Have a great day or night wherever you are. And yeah, again, see you next time.